In the heart of Elmridge, a picturesque small town nestled amidst rolling hills, a series of unsolved murders had cast a pall of fear and unease over the close-knit community. The victims, seemingly chosen at random, had one chilling similarity: a cryptic message etched onto their lifeless bodies, a symbol that defied explanation. As a seasoned detective, I had seen my fair share of gruesome crimes, but the enigma of Elmridge was unlike anything I had encountered before. The town's peaceful facade had been shattered, and the residents were gripped by a sense of dread that seemed to seep into every corner of their lives. The first victim, a young woman named Emily, was discovered in a secluded forest clearing. Her body bore the mark of the enigmatic symbol, a twisted, serpent-like figure with 7 intricately entwined loops. The symbol was etched into her flesh with a precision that defied belief, as if it had been carved by an otherworldly hand. My investigation led me deep into the history of Elmridge, and I discovered that the town had a dark past, a history of witch trials and occult practices dating back centuries. The symbol, it seemed, was a relic of that forgotten era, a sign of a malevolent force that had once lurked in the shadows. As the murders continued, the town's sense of unease grew, and rumors of a vengeful spirit or a hidden cult began to circulate. But the truth, I suspected, was far more sinister than anyone could have imagined. Each murder followed a chilling pattern. The victim was abducted in the dead of night, their body discovered days later, marked with the cryptic symbol. There were no witnesses, no fingerprints, no trace of the perpetrator. It was as if the killer were a ghost, striking from the shadows and vanishing into thin air. I couldn't shake the feeling that the key to solving the enigma of Elmridge lay in understanding the symbol itself. I delved into ancient texts and consulted experts in occult symbolism, but the mark remained a mystery, its origins shrouded in darkness. One night, as I pored over the evidence in my dimly lit office, a strange feeling washed over me, a sensation that I was being watched. I glanced around the room, but there was no one there. It was then that I noticed something, a reflection in the window, a shadowy figure standing just beyond the glass. I turned slowly, my heart pounding with apprehension, and saw a woman standing in the corner of the room. She was dressed in a tattered gown, her hair disheveled, her eyes wide with terror. She held a piece of parchment in her trembling hand, and on it was etched the enigmatic symbol. Before I could react, the woman let out a blood-curdling scream and disappeared, leaving behind only the lingering scent of decay. I rushed to the window and saw her fading into the darkness, her figure dissolving like smoke in the night. I knew then that I had encountered something beyond the realm of the living, a vengeful spirit, a restless soul seeking justice for the crimes that had plagued Elmridge for centuries. But what was the connection between this apparition and the murders that had gripped the town? As my investigation continued, I uncovered a chilling revelation. The victims of the murders were descendants of those who had played a role in the witch trials of Elmridge's dark past. The symbol was a mark of retribution, a message from the vengeful spirit that sought to right the wrongs of history. I realized that I was not only racing against time to catch a killer but also to uncover the truth behind the enigma of Elmridge. The restless spirit was leaving behind clues, cryptic messages that held the key to solving the centuries-old mystery. The town's sense of dread intensified, and the residents began to fear for their lives. It was as if Elmridge itself had become a haunted place, a town where the sins of the past had come back to haunt the present. One evening, as I was poring over old records in the town's archives, I discovered a long-forgotten journal, a journal that belonged to one of the accused witches from the trials. In its pages, I found a description of the enigmatic symbol and its significance. According to the journal, the symbol was a mark of a malevolent force that had been unleashed during the witch trials, a force that had been imprisoned, but never truly defeated. The accused witches had used their own blood to seal the entity away, but it had vowed to return and exact its revenge on their descendants. Armed with this newfound knowledge, I sought out the town's remaining descendants of the accused witches, hoping to break the curse that had plagued Elmridge for centuries. Together, we performed a ritual, using the blood of the descendants to strengthen the seal and banish the vengeful spirit once and for all. As we chanted the incantation, the air grew thick with tension, and a sense of dread hung in the air. But slowly, the enigmatic symbol began to fade from the victims' bodies, and a profound stillness settled over Elmridge. The murders stopped, and the town was finally free from the grip of the enigma that had haunted it for centuries. The restless spirit had been banished, its thirst for revenge quenched by the descendants of those who had wronged it. But Elmridge would never be the same. The scars of its dark past would forever linger, a reminder of the horrors that had once plagued the town. And as I looked out over the quiet streets of Elmridge, I couldn't help but wonder if the enigma had truly been laid to rest or if it would one day return to haunt the town once more.